Namaste, my name is Aditi and welcome to HomeYogi. Last video, we looked at a pranayama or breathing technique and some gentle asanas that you can practice at home during your menstruation phase. You can save the video linked above and follow it along whenever needed. Today, we will be looking at some asanas that you can practice at home during the follicular phase of your cycle. Follicular phase is basically the first day of your cycle and ends in ovulation, typically around the 13th or the 14th day. Most women during this phase tend to feel happy and energetic in comparison to other phases of their cycle. This is a great time to include asanas to your practice that will make you sweat. Before we begin, if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel to never miss a new video released on HomeYogi. Now, let's get started.
Let us sit in a comfortable position with a length in our spine. You can sit on the edge of a folded blanket or towel or the edge of a bolster. Keep a soft gaze in front of you or close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Let us take a few easy and effortless breaths in and out through our nose. Bring your right hand on your belly and your left hand on your heart center. On your next inhale, first inhale a little into your belly, inflating it like a balloon, and then let the inhale travel to the ribs and lastly into the base of your throat. As you exhale, slowly exhale first through the base of your throat, then the ribs, and lastly through the belly, deflating the balloon. Let us repeat for 2 more rounds, and once complete, we will meet in the seated position with our hands on our knees or thighs and palms facing up. Keep a soft gaze in front of you. Bring both your hands up, interlock your fingers, turn your wrists outwards with palms facing the ceiling and look up if you can. Slowly unclasp and bring your hands back down to the sides. Bring your right hand behind you. Inhale and lift your left arm up and bring it across your legs by placing your left hand on your right knee. Ensure there is a length in your spine and you're not sliding back. As you exhale, twist your upper body to the right while turning your head at the same time and set your gaze at your right shoulder. Make sure you're not lifting your left hip off the mat. Breathe here normally and slowly. Slowly untwist, coming to the center. We will repeat this on the left side. Bring your left hand behind you. Inhale and lift your right arm up. Bring it across your legs by placing your right hand on your left knee. As you exhale, twist your upper body to the left while turning your head at the same time and set your gaze at your left shoulder. Take 5 rounds of easy breaths here and slowly untwist to come to the center. Let us meet in a tabletop position on all fours. Make sure your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders and knees directly underneath your hip. Your spine and head are in neutral position. You can place a folded blanket underneath your knees for extra cushion. As you inhale, lift your chest and head up towards the ceiling, tuck in your tailbone, and let your belly drop towards the mat. As you exhale, round your spine, tuck in your belly as if you were forming a letter C shape, and look down. Let us repeat this for 2 more rounds at our own pace and meet in a tabletop neutral position. Extend your arms in front of you, shoulder width apart. Spread your fingers and press them evenly into your mat. Bring your big toes to touch and spread your knees hip width apart. Sit back all the way towards your heels, bringing your chest and head to touch the mat in between the space created by your knees and hands. You are in Balasana, or Child's Pose. If this feels intense already, you can take a variation by placing a bolster or a pillow between your legs and lying your chest and head on the bolster or pillow in a modified Balasana pose. Breathe here normally for 3 easy breaths. Remove any props if used. Keeping your arms extended in front of you, tuck in your toes and slowly start lifting your hip up in a way where your chest is always trying to meet your thighs. You might need to widen the stance between your hands and feet as you're lifting your hip up. We are transitioning in a downward facing dog, also known as Adho Mukh Shavasana. But the true effect of this pose is in the transition rather than being in the pose, in my opinion. So really take your time coming into a downward dog position. When you're here, continue to press into your palms, lift your hips up and trying to meet your chest to your thighs and look at the space between your legs. This is your first downward dog, so the heels might not completely touch the mat, and that is okay. From here, look up at the space between your hands and step or jump in front of the mat, coming into a forward fold, Uttanasana. Let us stay here for a few breaths. You can cross your arms by reaching the opposite elbows and let your head dangle. If you have tight hamstrings, bend your knees as much as possible. Breathe in normally, and as you exhale, you can make a sound like ah in this pose. This is a great pose to help cool your entire body. Now, very slowly, with ease and breathing normally, come up to standing with your head coming up last. Go as slow as you can. Again, the true benefit is in the transition rather than staying in the pose. Let us meet in Tadasana or mountain pose with our feet slightly apart from each other and hands by our sides with palms open. Lift your toes up and spread them apart and press them firmly on the mat, feeling each toe pressing against the mat. We will begin with 2 rounds of Surya Namaskars or Sun Salutation C and once complete, we will meet in mountain pose or Tadasana. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, bring your hands at your heart center in a prayer position. Inhale, bring your arms forward and up with palms facing the ceiling. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step your right foot back in a lunge. Exhale, step your left foot back, coming into a downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, knees, chest and chin to the mat. Keep your hip lifted. Inhale, ensure your hands are at your chest level and elbows pressed to your sides, then scoop up to a cobra. Exhale, come to a downward dog. Inhale, step your right foot forward in between your hands, and exhale, step your left foot forward to meet the right, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, bring your hands in prayer position. We repeat on the other side. Inhale, bring your arms forward and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step your left foot back in a lunge. Exhale, step your right foot back, coming to a downward dog. Inhale, come to a plank. Exhale, knees, chest and chin to the mat. Hip stays lifted. Inhale, ensure your hands are at chest level and elbows pressed to the sides and scoop up to a cobra. Exhale, come back to downward dog. Inhale, step your left foot forward in between your hands, and exhale, step your right foot to meet the left in the front, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, bring your hands in prayer position at the heart center. This completes round 1 of the Surya Namaskar. Feel free to pause the video to complete the second round at your own pace, and once complete, resume the video to meet back in Tadasana or mountain pose. Standing in Tadasana, bring your hands in prayer position at the heart center. Step your right foot back 3/4 of a leg length. Make sure the back foot is parallel to the short edge of the mat. Ensure that the back instep of your back foot is in line with the front heel. Open and extend your arms. Your hip points will be facing the long edge of the mat. Bend your front knee, relax your shoulder, relax your jaw, and gaze through the fingertips in the front. Bend a little more in your front knee if you can. Breathe here normally. Straighten your front knee and turn your left foot in, making it parallel to the short edge of the mat, and turn your right foot out, making it parallel to the long edge of the mat. Same cues to follow. Make sure your hip points are lifted and parallel to the long edge of the mat. Relax your jaw, relax your shoulder, bend in your right knee, and gaze through the fingertips of your right hand. Breathe here normally. Bring your hands to a prayer position at the heart center and step to the new front of the mat. Come to Tadasana with your feet slightly apart and hands by your sides with palms open. Inhale, bring your arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, engage your core, lift your arms up and come to a squat as if you were sitting in a chair, but there is no physical chair here. Exhale. Stay in this pose, which is also known as chair pose or Utkatasana, for 3 breaths. Try to engage your core here while continuing to breathe normally. Shift the weight to the back of your heels and make sure your knees don't go past your toes. Come up to standing and slowly take your time to get to the mat lying on your back. Keep a block handy and place the block just below your sacrum. Lift your legs one at a time or both legs together with the soles of your feet parallel to the ceiling. Stay in this inversion for no more than 15 seconds. If you do not have a block, you can simply stay in legs up the wall position. Slowly bring your feet to the mat and lift your hip to remove the block and rest your back on the mat. You can windshield wiper your knees here if you like. Straighten your legs in front of you and bring your feet together. You can keep your hands by your side or place them under your sacrum for some support. Inhale and lift both your legs together all the way up, and as you exhale, bring it down slowly to the mat, but not touching the mat, just hovering over the mat. Repeat this for 5 rounds. As an option, you can alternate the legs by bringing them up and down one at a time for 5 rounds each leg. Windshield wiper your knees from side to side or bring your knees to chest. We are towards the end of our practice. Let us take our time to meet lying on our stomach for the last back bend of the practice. Lying on our stomach and arms by our side, let us extend through the crown of our head and ground ourselves by pressing the tops of our feet on the mat. Bend your legs and reach with your hands to grab your ankles. Inhale, lift your chest up, head up, and exhale. Stay in this pose by breathing normally. Some of you might feel the rocking motion as you breathe in and out, and that is okay. Very slowly, release your legs and bring your head and hands down. Make a pillow with your hands in front of you and rest your head. Windshield wiper your legs from side to side. Slowly turn on your back and bring your knees to chest one last time. Straighten your legs here and extend them mat width apart. Bring your arms away from your torso, palms facing up, and roll back your shoulder blades. Make any minor adjustments before you get into the well-deserved Shavasana. If you like to place a bolster or pillow under your knees to reduce any pressure from your lower back, please go ahead and do so. Close your eyes and surrender. Stay in Savasana for as long as your body desires. It is recommended that you stay in Shavasana for at least 5 to 10 minutes.
I hope you found this video helpful. We will see you next week on the mat with another video related to syncing your cycle to your yoga asana practice. Till then, stay safe and stay happy. Dhanyawad.